And we're live.
So we're not waiting.
I don't.
He might have went the other way.
Yeah. All right, we can go in 3, 2, 1. We're live. Saturday morning.
Sixer just administered to the gum mucous membrane.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those mornings where, you just wake up, you need a little bit of an edge. Maybe you already woke up with an edge. You just got to keep the juices flowing. I mean, sitting out here and it's like I'm sitting in someone's ass crack with how hot and humid it is outside in
I'm
Texas
already
right
sweating.
now.
I think the microphone was sweating earlier.
Yeah.
But they say that that's a sign of depression. When you wake up and you have no motivation.
I didn't say I wasn't motivated.
You just needed some edge. You know what? I drank an energy drink yesterday.
Really?
I ran out of my pre-workout, so I went to the Quick Trip up there, and I was thinking, what's the best energy drink? And I was between Bucked Up and Black Rifle. I went with Black Rifle.
Oh, really?
Because Bucked Up was 300 milligrams.
Yeah.
Black Rifle 200, but
What flavor was it?
White Frost. Just shows like this. I think it's the picture of it. It's a skeleton with like the night vision goggles on it. It's a white can.
Yeah.
Just holding that thing around the gym. I got a good workout in.
Sometimes that carbonation and that stuff just works.
The sweetness
It works
of
good.
it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I haven't had
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to.
one in a week. I'm taking a 26-year-old hiatus from energy drinks.
That's good.
Felt like probably over the last 5-6 years I've had one. I've probably averaged one a day.
The last 5 years?
At least, yeah.
So that's
College was kind of
fucking
monster. College was monster, rain, bang, and then kind of the same thing. Once I got to Nashville, it was a lot of the same stuff. I mean, just powering your body through energy. And it's kind of, especially in the health and fitness industry, it's kind of like a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Because they are health-focused drinks, and they do have, good ingredients. Some of them have good ingredients and good energy behind it. But if you're a chronic user and you've already had your fix in the morning, and then you're like, well, I'm working till 9. It's only 2. I might as well get a second half pick-me-up. And, yeah, it's usually going to be some form of an energy drink.
I wouldn't say it's health-focused. I would say it's more performance-focused.
Yeah, performance. That's a
It's
better way
like-
to put it.
Because really, like, the whole idea of needing 2 a day, it's kind of like something's not working because you're not getting the sleep you need. And you're relying on that energy
But what if
drink.
you have what if you're working 7 to 10? 7 to 9.
7 p.m. to 10 or to 9
No,
a.m.
7 a.m. to 9 p.m. You're up from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. doing things.
You just
So you have your 7 a.m. and that'll last you till 1.
God, dude. Well, I personally, it feels like a yo-yo effect. To me, it's like, okay, just the idea that you need to rely on something is kind of a scary thought.
Yeah.
And it is performance because it does help you, keeps you awake and focused, but it's kind of like a illusion because your body's actually tired. And
Is it though?
That's what they say. Well, that's what they say caffeine does. It's like the adenosine receptor. It basically blocks the tired chemical from entering your brain, so you don't feel tired. Ideally, like Huberman says, you wake up, spend an hour and a half
Yeah.
walking around, then you administer the fix, the crank.
Yeah, I'm a little off Huberman.
You feel like he's a plant? Industry plant?
I don't think he's a plant. I think it's just like this whole bio-optimization thing. It's great in theory, but the practicality of it for 99% of the people is just not there.
Yeah. And he's a single guy, right? And he's
Successful, living in California, Stanford.
kind of
So he's got
He's a
the
scientist.
Yeah, he's a scientist. And
he's in his lab, he's figuring out, which is a really important thing. But I agree. I feel like for the average person, he's more clinical. Like, I feel like then Joe Rogan absorbs Andrew Huberman's info, spits it out in like bro.
And it's like,
science.
oh, I can actually do that.
It's like, just get in the ice bath.
Yeah.
Stop being a little bitch.
God, I may get in the pool after this.
Yeah, I feel the back sweat going down. Well, you said 26 years old. You've kind of made a couple changes. What's the other ones? Kind of moving forward.
No added sugars. So when it comes to the foods that I'm eating, and I'm trying to be better about this. It's not necessarily an all or nothing. Like if I have something like that, jump off a bridge mentality. It's like, okay, well, I learned from it. How can I be better, more prepared for the next time?
Yeah.
Because I did kind of have a not chronic. I keep using the word chronic illness.
Chronic.
Post bodybuilding show about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, got back onto the sodas, the diet sodas or zero sugar sodas. And for a while, because I remember we were up in that room. This was probably 2012 or 13, maybe even younger. And you were deciding that you were going to, for a New Year's resolution, cut sodas. Because we were drinking, Sprites and Dr. Peppers and Mr. Pibb and whatever else.
Shit.
And so I remember you deciding to do that. I was like, okay, I can do that too. And so I went probably 8 or 9 years without soda. Just never really thought about it. And then, as I'm going through the body cutting and all that stuff, you're looking for ways to curb your appetite. Carbonation is a great resource for that. And so a lot of LaCroix, a lot of soda waters, sparkling waters, and those can honestly taste pretty good. Like
definitely.
It's definitely a mindset. You got to get yourself into it, but after a while, like you're craving them. And so post bodybuilding show, I was like, you know what I fucking want? Give me a Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time having it again, and this was just the standard Dr. Pepper. No zero sugar, no diet, just normal.
Wow, the real
deal. I
deal.
remember how like syrupy it was. And I was like, see, I couldn't even finish it. I was like, I can't do this. So let me go for the diet option instead, see if it tastes a little bit better. Fell in love with the diet Dr. Pepper, the DDP. And kind of got my roommate on it. And I went probably 2 years of
peddling Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, peddling Dr. Pepper. We had a gas station right down the road. It's nighttime. Let me go walk down there, $2, get a diet Dr. Pepper. And so kind of that need, like I need this carbonation and need like that sugar and sucralose and all that stuff. And that's just not walking the walk and talking the talk. So I have not had an energy drink in a week. Good. I guess since Sunday. So 6 days. So I honestly feel pretty good.
That's good, dude. And not to harp on like the science, but Huberman did an episode on fake sugar. Like diet soda has got zero sugar, but it tastes so sweet. Yeah. He was saying that even though it has zero sugar, it still acts in your body as if it's sugar. Yeah. And you still get the same insulin response, and that's part of what makes it taste good and feel good. And I have no clue how the chemists in the lab fixed that up to do that, but I don't know what it was for me that made me quit soda back in the day, because that was, you know what it was? I think it was just seeing our grandparents drink soda all the time. Yeah. And just their health, and just being like, I don't want that. And then we were addicted when we were little. You remember how much soda we'd drink at like Chili's? Yeah. We'd go through like fucking 3 refills of Sprite.
Pictures of sodas, and now it's like the association with soda to obesity, or it's always soda fast food, and so the correlation doesn't equal causation. But I feel like if I'm consuming those things, odds are I'm probably riding the line to the next group of something else that may not be as healthy for me. Not necessarily that it's like a trigger drink, but it is a sweet treat.
Definitely.
Well, like that is obviously better than having, a fucking tray of cookies. But now I'm just looking to cleanse out just a little bit more.
I'm happy for you. That's a good, healthy thing, and I feel like you're going to do good. 6 days, so do you feel any, like, withdrawals?
No, not yet. I mean, I'm still having a little bit of caffeine. My pre-workout has only 100 milligrams of caffeine, but I'm staying really hydrated in the morning with my amino acids, with my hydration mix, so I'm getting some good sodium in. I've got some just black iced coffee in here right now, and This is what I originally liked. And then I
Yeah.
kind of got off of this for some reason. I don't
You're
know
always
why.
a Dunkin'
Yeah.
black large iced coffee.
Oh, there's a hair in here. Perfect.
Back to Dr. Pepper.
So yeah, it's just
It's healthy,
it's healthy.
and that's good. And it's maturity. Like, you just literally gained a year. So now it's
Yeah.
like, okay, let's change it up.
Yeah.
I think it takes 21 days is what they say to break a habit or
Yeah.
start a new habit.
Yeah.
So just fucking get to that 20. I know when I did Sober October like 2 years ago, and I was really smoking a lot of weed before that. Dude, I got withdrawals. Big time.
I bet. Yeah.
I was like, why am I sweating?
Yeah.
It's like 7 p.m. I'm sweating. What's going on? And I found for me, like with any sort of thing, and I don't know if we have the addictive trait in our family or not, but when it comes nighttime, that's when the demons come from under the bed, and
That's
they're
when the
gnawing at your
temptation-
ankle.
Yeah, you're fighting the temptation to do something bad. But that's usually, for me, like, that's a wandering mind. 7 p.m., you're usually not doing anything, watching TV. You probably ate, but you may be a little bored. You're like,
Bored.
you need something to stimulate you. And if food is your thing, then you're going to go for food. If alcohol is your thing, alcohol is going to be your thing. If weed's your thing, like, and I kind of want to get high right now and chillax. And, we've probably all gone through cycles of, each different vice.
Definitely.
Vaping, the
Pornography.
nicotine. Yeah, there's a lot of, the addictive, there's so many things nowadays, especially with the access that we have that, can be incredibly addictive. And people told me, I've been, I guess, I don't know when the first time I smoked weed was, but, I had heard from other people that like, oh no, weed's not addictive. And I think that's the kind of, I don't know why people say that. I don't know if, justify maybe the action. It is certainly addictive. Like, I don't understand how someone couldn't be or could say that it's not addictive, because when you feel good, you get that freaking dopamine dump. You're like, man, I feel really good. Things are funny. And then it fades. Like, well, I want that again. And so, it's addictive. If you're smoking weed out there or thinking about it, be careful. Set some boundaries. You can get lost in the sauce kind of faster than you think.
100%. Like, a couple times on my YouTube algorithm, there's been videos where guys, it's like, smoked weed every day for 5 years, then quit. This is my take.
Yeah.
And I've watched like 3 or 4 of these, and it's kind of sort of the same thing where, and I felt this way too, because I was doing it constantly, and then I stopped. I haven't done it since September of last year, and I feel great. I feel clear-headed and focused.
Yeah.
But they all say the same thing. It's like, once you get into it and you're kind of hooked in a way, you start making excuses for why you, like, oh, I could stop.
Yeah.
Like, I just do it because I want to, and I could stop tomorrow. But it's like, but you're not. And
Tomorrow comes around.
Tomorrow-
You're looking. That's like the first thing you're looking forward to when you wake up.
But you're right. It's the dopamine
Yeah.
kick that you get, and that could literally be anything.
Yeah.
It could be working out.
Yeah.
And so you could become addicted to something that's unhealthy or healthy. You just gotta decide.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, there's a lot of interesting benefits to it. I feel like it's a kind of creative thing. But it's people need to be a little careful about it.
Yeah.
At the end
Is
of the day.
weed becoming the new alcohol? You got a bug on your head.
I think it's no, but I feel like it's kind of becoming more popular. Like, even just
Like, I feel
the
like less
Delta
people are drinking.
yeah, I think you're right on that. People are like seeing how just toxic it is as a thing, and they're not wanting to partake.
But is that is that like a social response? Alcohol is, hey, let's go out, let's drink. Let's kind of, we're on an up a little bit.
Yeah.
Versus like weed is kind of isolating in a sense, where you're kind of, it depends on
actually
the
a good
reaction you're
point.
going to have. But like, I feel like a lot of people kind of do it by themselves.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, yeah, I'm just going to stay at home, get high, watch Netflix, order some food, order some DoorDash versus going out.
Yes.
So do you think that's like a I wish we could find the
Actually
numbers on that,
unique.
like the increase in weed users from like COVID and like what alcohol has done. I bet weed has climbed and alcohol has definitely dropped.
That's really good insight. Yeah, I feel like you're right. Because alcohol is a social thing. Like when you're out with a group of people and everyone's having a drink and it almost connects you.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of invested in one thing, which you could do that without alcohol. But I feel like weed, it's like if you're smoking weed with some people in like a group,
Maybe your close friends.
close friends, it's a good time. But then there's always that moment where it's like, oh, back into your own head.
Yeah.
And it becomes some sort of like, yeah. So I feel like maybe I do have an addictive personality in a way. Because like, oh, I can't just maybe have a little bit of weed. I feel like once I do it, it's like,
Yeah.
just the floodgates are open.
And
to
it's,
everything.
it's also kind of expensive too.
Yeah.
All of them are expensive. Alcohol's expensive.
Smoking in
Smoking.
your lungs.
Yeah, like
That's another thing people won't admit.
the popcorn lung. That's like the vaping. I mean, that
Cool.
anything you're inhaling. Vaping was. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that we end up putting into our bodies and
Yeah.
just kind of rolling the dice with.
But hey, it's the freedom that you have as an
Yeah.
American.
Yep.
It's amazing.
I'm gonna get high. I'm gonna get drunk.
I'm gonna go shoot some guns.
I'm gonna shoot some guns. I'm gonna speed down the street
I'm gonna get my wife pregnant.
and cut.
Clip cut.
Yeah.
So they say once you're name dropped in a song, you've made it in life.
You got name dropped by Ahmed B. Ballin.
Ahmed Baby.
Ahmed Baby.
Yeah, shout out to Ahmed, new album, Godspeed. Just feels good, man. Hearing your name in a song, it's just like, dang.
Well, I mean, you've played a role in creating the visuals for his album covers and his song covers, and you've done a really good job kind of expressing his vision, which that's how that creative outlet works. You got to have someone who's building and someone who's implementing and providing it. So you've done a good job with that stuff.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Ahmed's so cool, too. Like, I just appreciate people that are just kind of unapologetically them
Yeah.
and confident. Like, think about it. Like, starting from scratch and just, like, making an album and
Yeah.
rapping. It's like you're putting yourself out there, too. And,
Yeah.
people talk shit.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like, what are you doing? You're just sitting on your couch tweeting? Twitter
Yeah.
fingers?
This song's bad.
It's like,
It's bad.
it's not for you then.
Yeah.
But, yeah, shout out to Ahmed. He's got a good song, Nikola Jokic on the album. Peep that one.
We need to create that for the podcast intro.
Yeah, definitely. I went to Oklahoma the other day. Road trip. Small town Oklahoma. Like above Wichita Falls. Temple, Walters, bro. Oklahomans are a different breed. Like one gas station in the whole town. And that's like where they eat and hang out too. So I show up
Jeez.
around lunchtime.
It's busy.
Bro, I'm taking photos of the building, walking around near the gas station, parking lot. I almost got hit by like 3 Ram trucks. They're like speeding in, parking. I'm like, whoa.
The turbo diesels.
Who's this city folk?
They're rolling coal.
Yeah. And then like, bro, these 2 dudes get out of the truck and it's like, they do some fucking hard work. He's got a 6-pack of beer. It's like 12.
Yeah.
He's probably worked on the oil rig overnight.
Yeah.
He's about to go crush a 6-pack and fall asleep.
Crush a 6-pack and give a left hook to his girlfriend.
Yeah. But, yeah, walk in the store. There's just like guy with snapback Superman hat on. Kind of weird guy. He's like looking around and stuff. And I walk in. He's like, "What's up, man? You about to get one of those fried things?" He's pointing to the old quick service restaurant in there.
Conveyor belt.
Yeah, I'm like, I might. Looks good. And then I start walking around. I'm talking to the owner. And he's just like picking up stuff. And he's like looking at him. He's looking at me. He's like, pretty cool, huh? And then he's like walking all close to me. I think he was like sizing me up.
Really?
And then yeah, he buys a Monster Energy and gets out of there. So it's just like, yeah, it's an interesting life. Like
Oklahoma
500
is
people in the town.
Yeah. I mean, Oklahoma is a pretty interesting state. We got a lot of experience driving through there, getting to Arkansas.
Yep.
You know, Caddo, Atoka, Durant. You
A
know.
lot of Native American land.
Yeah.
Like just the word Oklahoma.
Yeah.
That's an Indian word.
Muskogee, is that in Alabama or is that in Oklahoma?
I think that's in Alabama. Muskogee?
Yeah. There's that.
Where is that? We go there?
No. I don't know. I think there's like that Native American place that they have, like I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, I mean, a ton of Native American history out there.
Like if you lived in that small of a town.
Oh, there is. Yeah, it is Muskogee, Oklahoma.
That's
Let's
staying
see.
corrected. What about if you lived in that small town, dude? What do you think you would be doing?
Man, I don't know.
Think you just get a job at the plant?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Marry the girl next door?
The
Have
high school
family?
sweetheart. Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
Because
yeah,
it's like,
I don't know. I really don't know what life would be like.
what I was thinking about, it's like, it's kind of something peaceful about knowing everyone in the town and having your role in the town.
Yeah.
Like you're trading with the farmer for whatever you make. But then I'm like, well, social media comes around. It's like they're seeing how everyone else is living. And the opportunities people have, like in Dallas.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I feel like that could either motivate you or kind of depress you in a way. Versus if you didn't know that was out there necessarily, and you kind of are content with your life. Maybe like the grass is always greener phrase. I'm like,
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, that's kind of seems like the big story of like all the movies and a lot of these books is, you know, small town vibes. The kid is kind of like, man, there's got to be something out there better for me.
yeah.
Wants to leave, getting the resistance from the family. Like, if you leave, you're never coming back.
Yeah.
You're gonna go big city living.
Yeah.
You're going to
exactly.
Dallas. And, you know, then this kid shows up to Dallas and it's, you know, skyscrapers, concrete jungle.
Opportunities.
There's a great song. I think it's by Flatland Cavalry, Tall City Blues.
Okay.
And it's honestly a beautiful song. Because I remember when I was living in Nashville, it's kind of the same stuff. And, you know, obviously we didn't grow up like in the boonies or in the woods or anything like that. But, you know, when you go from a place where you do know your community and you've got your neighbors and the people you talk to and you're, you know, walking the dogs and waving to everyone, like there's a tribalness to that and you feel
Yes.
connected.
Yeah.
And then when you go somewhere big where everyone's kind of in their own lane, everyone's kind of focused on themselves for the most part, like you lose a lot of that. And I feel like some of those cities, at least in my experience, can be very isolating.
Yeah. Definitely.
There's just too many people coming in and out, and I don't think really anyone's connected to the ground they're on. Like they don't necessarily care for it the same way as like, you know, where we come from, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the song, it's really interesting. We'll have to play this at some point, but
I'll give it a listen. Flatland Cavalry.
he's like, I hate this town, I hate this place, ain't nothing to do, go down to the bar each night and drink till 2, I hate my job, I'm always in a bad mood, I fear I'm coming down with a case of the Tall City Blues. So it's pretty much talking about this
Damn.
guy who's got his degree, he's doing really good in work, he's just trying to figure it out, and, you know, he's talking about,
Yeah, he's kinda
we'll
like
all be
stuck.
strangers soon with Tall City Blues. This one-bedroom apartment has taken all my dough, $1,500 a month for Venetian blinds and stained concrete floors. I lay back in my king-size bed each night where I sleep alone, dreaming about my next move out of these Tall City Blues.
Jeez.
And it's like you kind of
deep.
listen to that, and you can tell like
Can relate.
people long for the connectedness.
Yeah.
You know, you want to be with people who you care about and care for you and kind of have the same vision in mind. But that's what's so good about country music.
There's a lot of good messages.
Yeah.
100%.
Morgan Wallen just released his album yesterday.
I gotta listen.
37 songs.
Fuck, that's like 3 albums.
Yeah. Oh, I did want to talk about this. Have you been seeing all the stuff with Justin Bieber recently?
Yeah, just his health state is pretty
Yeah.
poor.
And there's like
Sad.
new developments in the Diddy case.
Where he's involved.
There was a shooting at the Trump Laurel, I think, in Miami years ago. I think it was 2021. This guy was just like, it's a hilarious video. This dude's like running from the cops shooting, and he was there to kill Trump, to protect the cabal of Hillary Clinton, Diddy, Jay-Z, from these sex parties and sex dungeons and all this shit that's been going on.
Jeez, dude.
And now more than ever, I know we've kind of talked about like the Justin Bieber Yummy music video once or twice before, and a lot of the symbolism and messaging within that, and to kind of
100%.
see where he's at now.
It's dark.
It's dark. They say he's broke.
What?
Yeah, he's got no money anymore.
Just having to pay off people.
Scooter Braun, he owes Scooter Braun money, who's his manager, who's probably just as involved in all this fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I feel bad for JB. He got taken advantage of,
Yeah.
and what he had to do for that, or what was forced on him, we'll never know unless it comes out. But people are really speculating that he was, sexually assaulted by Diddy.
Yeah.
And
There's-
then, like, what does that do in terms of, like, is he doing that to someone now?
Yeah.
Or, like, what's-
Blackmailed. Like, hey,
Yeah.
we got these videos. You better keep going.
He's been really big on Christianity, though, and I feel like he's struggled heavily. Obviously, like, if something like that bad happens to you,
Yeah.
like the place you need to go, the faith you need to have to make it through. So I just hope he's doing all right. But
He released this video on Instagram. It's kind of like, almost like you're looking through like a security camera, like a CCTV, and it's like thermal, and he's like in this puff jacket. Literally, he's in this puff jacket, and it's like this weird thermal, and he's like just gorging himself on food. He like posted this like 2 or 3 days ago. Yeah.
what was the caption, like, my life?
I don't
right
think it
now?
was anything. It was, but it's pretty much like people reading into it as this is kind of the view of maybe some of the cameras that were involved in some of these houses during these sex parties, and he was wearing the jacket to kind of make him seem like he's Puff Daddy, eating food, the pizza, yeah,
Pizza. That's
yeah,
pedophile code
That's the
for
code word.
children.
yeah. I mean, that goes back to his Yummy music video, which is just so dark, so dark.
So he's kind of,
He's trying to make
Hinting
it known.
at it.
Yeah.
but he's not coming out and saying anything. He's just kind of like breadcrumbs here and there.
Yeah.
You think he's afraid for his life?
Potentially. I mean, what if he has the... I listened to this Kanye thing the other day. He was talking again about Harvey Pasternak, the celebrity trainer, Jewish celebrity trainer.
I did watch Candace Owens talk about that a little
Yeah, and it's like... Some of these things, when you hear it, seem so hard to believe.
bit. Definitely.
I mean, like, impossible. 10 years ago, impossible. No one ever would have said a thing.
No.
And then now it's like, fuck, like... It could be true. Like, it's probably more true than not.
I would say so, and yeah, you gotta wonder what. Oh, dude, I think if you come at it from the perspective of considering human nature and what people want, greed, money, lust, all these things, power.
Yeah.
If you realize that that's part of human nature, and you'd be like, okay, well, it makes a lot more sense why someone would be in that position. They would go to that depth to get that power over people. But I think a lot of people just assume every human being's a good person.
Yeah.
Or we're all flawed, We all have flaws. We're not perfect in any way. So
What do you think? And that's what, with all the sex trafficking, prostitution stuff, you kind of feel like the worst way to be treated is like sexual humiliation.
yes,
Like that's like the most
it's the most
vulnerable, evil sacred thing, and like people are forcing it upon you or forcing you to do things and use your body. I mean, it's
straight up evil.
that's why, man, like
It's
straight
depressing.
up off the leash. Off the leash.
Off the leash. These people need to be firing squatted.
For real, man.
Yeah,
Like
why
what's
not?
what is the holdup with like the empathy towards psychopaths and people that are doing the most heinous things, one, on children, indefensible,
no excuse.
like someone who cannot defend themselves.
Yeah.
And you were like kind of going back to the Tim Tebow conversation on Sean Ryan.
I've watched some of this, yeah.
He brought out a piece of paper, and Tim Tebow, for those of y'all who don't know, probably one of the greatest college football players all time, really brought a lot of light and awareness to his Christianity, wearing his Bible verses on his face.
Yeah.
And
Great guy.
there's some really crazy stats on like when he was playing those games.
The John 3:16
and
numbers.
like the increase in Google searches on what it meant and just people learning. And so Tim Tebow is stand-up dude, amazing human being. And he's been fighting the fight when it comes to child trafficking and child sex trafficking, sexual exploitation, all these different things. So he goes on the Sean Ryan podcast and he presents this piece of paper, and it's just a map of the United States. And it's got all these dots, 110,000 unique IP addresses that all within the last 30 days have clicked on, shared, facilitated, downloaded, child sex stuff. I think it's all under the age of 12. 110,000 people in the last 30 days in the United States.
It's fucked.
And we kind of think that he painted a really good picture. He's like, us as Americans, we think a lot of this stuff happens overseas and in other places, and there's certainly truth to that.
Yeah.
But it happens here, like on our soil. And I mean, when you think about the gravity of things like that, how many children go missing, how many children have never been found, how many newborns have been kidnapped and never been found. I mean, it's tens of thousands, dude.
That's so bad, dude.
These people, and what's sad about it, they're not doing anything. Like, I know there's groups and organizations that are focused, non NGOs or whatever.
Yeah.
Humanitarian aid. But like on the governmental level, like why is this not priority number one?
I don't know. I mean, it seems like I've come to the conclusion that these people are broken and sick and evil. Like, and if you know that someone's breaking the law, like, let's fucking lock them up. Like, what's the big holdup for it?
Yeah.
But I originally thought that the FBI was, like, doing that sort of thing. Like, how can you know that there's 110,000 unique cases of people watching this crap and not lock them up?
Yeah.
Is it the resources? Is it the legality of it? I mean, certainly it shouldn't be that. And it's so depressing when you hear that, and it's just evil. I saw another clip of him talking about it where he, I don't know if it was him or someone he knew, interviewed one of these fucking pieces of shit, and he was like, this guy, the pedophile, was saying that he would go to a playground and just watch the kids, and he'd go pick the kid that looked the happiest because he wanted to take their soul.
Fuck.
At that point,
Put a 9mm in their dome.
yeah, at that point, he just fucking off that guy.
Yeah. Like, what is the net? Get the energy out.
Even like, have you heard of Cain Velasquez situation? UFC
Cain
fighter,
Velasquez.
heavyweight UFC fighter who his kid, his little son, was being molested.
What?
And
by like a family friend or?
I don't know who it was, but Cain Velasquez fucking follows him on the highway, in a chase with him, shooting out the window at him, trying to kill him. He gets arrested. He's in jail now.
Cain Velasquez is? Did he end up killing the guy?
No. So now he's in jail, and it's like, all right, we get it. It's like you shouldn't shoot shoot on the highway, you might kill another person, but it's like, fucking give him a break.
Can you blame the guy?
Give
Like,
him a break.
what would you do if that was your kid?
Yeah, you wouldn't. It's hard to know because we don't have kids, but yeah, it's like, I don't know how I could live knowing that person did that.
Yeah.
One of us got to go, and it's not me.
Yeah.
Fucking 10
Yeah.
a.m. on the fucking
10 a.m.
deep talk.
Yeah. But yeah, we need to get this stuff.
Just gotta, you know, I don't know what to say here. Okay, so didn't you delete your Instagram?
I did.
So that's another thing that you did.
Yeah, I deleted my personal Instagram, kept it to just my training, Robinson Training Co. Go give me a follow on there. Got some good content coming.
What was the reason for it?
You know, we talked a lot about making our world smaller.
That's right.
And, you know, eliminating distractions. And this is not like, you know, I've had an Instagram probably since junior high.
That's when it started
So
coming out.
probably since like 2012, maybe. And it's gone, you know, it's interesting to kind of go back because Instagram has gone through all these different evolutions of the way that people post. And it used to be like, you know, posting your food. I remember like posting pictures of Panda Express with my water bottle,
Yeah.
my lemonade, and be like, gonna eat this, then study. And, you know, it was like, there wasn't a,
That's hilarious.
you weren't really trying to like impress anyone. It was just, yeah, I'm just gonna post whatever I want to post. And then I think,
So
you know,
weird.
as you get a little bit older and you start seeing girls on there and you know, oh wow, they're attractive. You want to, you know, kind of build up your own profile in a sense. You start only sharing certain things to share the highlights, right?
Exactly.
And, you know, I've followed 1,000 people, whatever, people from high school, people from over the country, people you meet in passing, whatever. I wish them all the best, but like me paying attention to your life serves me no good. And I want to just focus on the things that are in front of me and the people that I care about. And just, you know, keep my vision, you know, pretty hyper focused on just moving forward. And so for me, that was kind of a big thing. At the same time, too, you know, having two different Instagram accounts, kind of like living like a double, not a double life, but, you know, you're one person on this side and you're one person on the other side. And it kind of got a little confusing for me sometimes.
Interesting.
And so I was like, you know what, let's just eliminate that and become the same person, but just keep, you know,
Yeah.
keep things a little bit more simple. Like it did not need to be as much of a mental exercise on, man, which account should I post on? Or it's like, fuck that, man. Like,
Good for you, man. That's huge. I think you can get down the rabbit hole on socials, just scrolling and wasting time.
yeah,
And you look up and you've wasted so much time and you're not really focused on what you want to do.
yeah, you've wasted
I've been
time
there.
looking at everyone else's life.
Yeah. And then obviously like emotions come out of that
Yeah.
you might not want to feel jealous or envy and all this stuff, or even, you know, like you catch, like you're saying, the girls on Instagram, it's like there's no, I mean, it's obvious that they're wanting to keep you on there longer. And
Yeah.
so that's good that you did that. Yeah, I think I'll probably delete. So I'll post the podcast clips, but then I'll find myself just getting back into it, scrolling, liking, and yeah. So I think I'll follow your lead there and delete the app for this week. Only when I post, I'll just delete it after.
Yeah.
Stay focused on that, but yeah.
Do you think,
Distractions.
you know, fast forward to you having kids, would you ever like allow your kids to have social media?
God, that's
Like, I think
tough
we've
one.
probably got some listeners maybe who maybe already have some kids or maybe thinking about having kids. You know, obviously this is a conversation that they'll probably end up having at some point.
Definitely. I mean, we can give one perspective. Yeah, we don't have kids. What do you think? Like, where does your mind go first?
No. The answer is no. It's also kind of weird sometimes. I see parents like post pictures of their like newborn babies. And just like, and then I see the other side where parents will post a family picture and like block out their kids' faces.
Whoa.
Well, because, I mean, think about the number that we just shared about the 110,000 IP addresses in the last 30 days.
That's real.
So, like,
It's real
anyone
life.
can find your information, find your pictures. If you've got a bunch of baby pictures of your children up there, there's some weirdo out there. And I don't even want to think about having to deal with that.
Yeah, you don't even think about that when you're like living your life, and most of these people probably don't. They're just posting their family. They want to share with their followers and their friends
Yeah.
and acquaintances. But yeah, it gives me a lot to think about. I mean, ideally, no, just based on like what we know about how it's affected people, especially girls.
Oh, yeah.
The comparison, like just seeing like, oh wow, this girl's so popular. She's got millions of followers, and all she does is post booty pictures. And she's got an OnlyFans, and she's rich.
Yeah.
She's going to travel all these places, and she's so successful. She's a boss. She's a boss babe.
Yeah. Do you want
Role
your
model.
daughter? You want your daughter growing up? Mom, I want to be like Meg the Stallion.
I want to be
I want to be like Cardi B.
insert. I want to be Bonnie Blue.
What was that? Wasn't it a Cardi B picture in front of like that graffiti garage, and then on the back, what did it say?
Pedophile, right?
Yeah, it said pedophile.
Bro, this
And like that's not
The
a
world's a dark place.
coincidence. And she said she didn't know.
fuck Cardi B, bro. She's fucked.
Yeah.
It's
So
like-
I think social media lifts up a lot of really bad role models.
yeah.
And people, we kind of have a misconstrued vision of what success really is and what
Yes.
happiness really is. And, you can post a picture. I remember Drake, a little Champagne Poppy shout out. He's got a song, I can't remember what it's called, but he talks about like, going on vacation, then posting pictures like you're still there.
Yeah.
And it's like to show your followers, man, I'm still doing this. I'm still living life. When
I'm
you're
lit.
actually, when you're actually at home doom scrolling, you're depressed.
yeah.
And you feel like no one loves you or whatever. And so you're going to create a post to create engagement to get people to, oh my gosh, that looks so crazy. Hope you're having the best time.
yeah.
That's so cool. And so when you end up finding out that you're posting for others versus posting for yourself, I think that's when you kind of need to take a step back and be like, what is this really doing for me?
That's a great point. Like, and this whole conversation, it's been very deep, and it goes into a lot of, really deep topics about like God, the devil, good versus evil. Like, posting things and doing things for others is not what the creator, the universe, God wants you to do.
Yeah.
He wants you to glorify him, not yourself. Because it's like, you'll be humbled if you think you're the hot shit and you're doing all this for yourself. And then it's like, no, there's a bigger picture here. And yeah, it's like with Cardi B and all these entertainers and successful people that are considered rich in material things here on earth. It's like some of them have made a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
Like, I'm willing to sacrifice my soul to be rich on earth for 50, 60 plus years.
Yeah, for all the pleasure.
And you'll get that. You'll get that for sure. So
But
make
at the
make
end
your
of the day,
choice.
that Grim Reaper's coming knocking.
Yeah, like whatever they think's going to happen when they die, maybe they don't think they're going to die.
Yeah. Well, do you ever listen to Eminem?
Sometimes.
He's got a really interesting song. I'm going to try to find this. Eminem, one of the best, too, of all
Yeah.
time.
I was listening to him and Logic on Homicide in the gym the other day.
I'm going to find this song. But he talks, it's kind of like a weird, I think it's this song, My Darling.
Oh,
Yeah,
with
it's called-
Dr. Dre?
Yes. So have you listened to the lyrics of that? My Darling, Eminem. It's a weird song, and it kind of paints the exact conversation that we're having where, like, Eminem is, talking about his growth and, what he's rapping about.
How he's not doing drugs anymore.
Yeah. So then talks about like killing himself and all these different things. Okay, so the chorus of the song, my darling, I don't ever want you to leave me, my darling. You and me were meant to be together. If I cannot have you, no one can. Because I possess your soul, your mind, your heart, and your body. I don't ever want you to leave you, blah, blah, blah. And then the Dr. Dre verse is like, Shady, I know you're in there somewhere. Come here, talk to me, sit, pull up a chair. Why don't you cut your hair? And it's like this devil voice.
Yeah.
And it's like, ha, 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 diet back. Come on, try it. Oh, no, I told you, leave me the fuck alone, will you? But I'm here to rebuild you. But I already killed you.
Yeah.
But Shady, we were meant for each other. Think about your mother. And then all them foster homes, I had you beat. Remember, I let you watch your little girls blossom. I gave you enough time. Your soul's mine.
Wow.
I'm taking it back. You fucking bitch, why? Because I love you. You know, just all this like really dark. You know, it sounds like he sold his soul. And
could also be like, you know, the devil on his shoulder just saying like, come on, come to the dark side.
Yeah.
Tap back into the drugs and all this shit. But
yeah, he's like, I'm not in the mirror, I'm inside you, let me guide you, put the gun down. You can't kill a spirit even if you tried to. Haha, you sold your soul to me. Need I remind you? You remember that night you prayed to God you'd give anything to get a record. Well, Dre signed you. This is what you wanted your whole life, Marshall. Look at this house. Look at these cars. They're so nice. But you didn't know fame has a price.
whoa.
That you just now seeing the downside to. Lose your best friend from high school, your wife too. Ain't even sure if your kids like you. Yeah. Addiction. I mean, it's like you listen to that song and you're like, you can't really come to any other conclusion that he was offered a price.
So you think he did do that?
I think he did do that.
That sucks because just talent-wise, he's one of the best. And his flow.
So is that like a thing? Like the
selling his
best
soul.
in the biz?
Well, then you think that's what I thought about when I heard about Diddy and Justin Bieber. I was like, Shay be actually good, or was he given this platform because he was compromised, or he's actually good and he got tricked and he's in the game now? I don't know, man.
Yeah. Could be either or.
Ugh.
But I pray for JB. I've really enjoyed his music, and you know, when you think about some of these child stars,
Yeah.
which has come to light, especially a lot more recently with the Nickelodeon stuff, Drake Bell, you know, and then you just kind of see how their life plays out, and you're like,
What did Drake Bell do?
Well, he was a part of the same stuff with
Drake and Josh?
Nickelodeon, yeah, and just a lot of predatory stuff. I can't remember the name of the dude.
He was older than...
Yeah, but one of the guys, one of the producers of the show,
Jeff Snyder.
that
Is that his
sounds
name?
kind of right. I'm not entirely sure. I don't want to say Jeff Snyder's a pedophile without knowing if that's his real name. But, yeah, I mean, all this stuff came out and how predatory it was. And
Yeah.
you kind of hear people joke about it, especially in the mainstream. Even some comedians. I know Joe Rogan's talked about, you know, what you got to do to get the role, right?
Yeah,
And,
Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, so you feel bad for these kids that are thrust into these positions because they're talented, and then they got no idea what's behind the door. And the parents don't know what's behind the door either. And they're just, oh, my kid, you know, he's going to be a millionaire. We're going to be rich, and he's going to be a star. And then you just sold him to the fucking
Yep.
Mossad.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes it even more powerful when you are self-made and you didn't have to do any of that to be successful. Like Kanye talked about that, like how he can't be they can't get him because he's not compromised. He wasn't willing to do the things that Jay-Z and all these other rappers did. Diddy, like, and then you think about, it's kind of different, but like what he's doing now with that one song he made recently.
Yeah, the HH
song, and I listened to it. I was like, this has got to be AI. No way this is him. But it was him.
But I think he's, and this is a thought, I don't know,
You
at
think
the end of the
he's
day. I think he's like,
cuckoo? Crazy?
I think he's got a little bit of it, but I think he's like he's kind of.
He's so abrasive and like, I don't want to use the word iconic, because obviously what he's saying is horrible, but he's like this figure in history that
Yeah.
he's pushing the boundaries. It's like free speech. All right.
I think that's what he's like trying to portray, though. It's like, you guys let everyone rap about all of this drugs, sex, money, killing people,
Yeah.
anti-Christian, anti-whatever.
Spinning the block, shooting your ops.
Yeah, and so it's like, if you're going to allow people to say this, he's going to go on the far spectrum.
Like, okay, what's wrong with saying this?
Yeah, they
This
wouldn't let him.
evil
They
thing.
canceled the shows after he came out with like his White Lives Matter 2 shirt, and they canceled the show. He had like a four-day show.
Controversial.
And so I think it's like he's kind of exposing a lot of the hypocrisy, I think, when it comes to what they allow to be released and what they put their money behind and their engineering behind. And, he certainly believes that a lot of the media, music groups, whatever, ran by these Jewish
yeah.
conglomerates, people who are power hungry. And, I've read some interesting articles before about some of these rappers that get into the game early, and the music producers, music directors of these big groups want them to keep pushing out the same toxic songs that mimic a bad reality of single fatherhood, of killing people, of, just doing things that
Drugs.
are completely irreversible. And so I think like the rap hip hop culture
It's crazy.
has certainly been a negative. And just when you think about the lyrics, like, why would I listen to this?
When you really look into it, yeah, it's like,
Like that Eminem song right there. Like, yeah, it's good production. It's Eminem. He's the GOAT, whatever. And you're like hearing this conversation between him and the devil, in a
Yeah.
sense. And you're singing it along. And it's like, man, is this the type of energy I want to be putting out?
yeah, that's something that when you're young, you kind of don't even think about it. You kind of just get into catchy beat, like this is what everyone's listening to, this is cool. And then you get older, you start listening to it, and yeah, I think it's just like an intuition you gotta feel about yourself. Like, like you said, I don't want this energy on my life. I don't want negativity. I want positivity, peace, love, positivity, logic.
Yeah, turn on that Bobby boy, Bobby
Yeah.
Tarantino.
And yeah, that's crazy. I wonder if it's a huge grand conspiracy. Like the FBI's like, all right, let's control them this way too. Implement rapper lineup. What's his name? NBA YoungBoy, start over here. Chief Keef, start there.
Trippy Red.
Trippy Red, YMW Melly, go. And
Yeah.
it's like influence the streets. Get them to hate each other, shoot their ops. It's like, yeah, it could be a grand conspiracy at the end of the day.
Keep people fighting.
It's literally like, mate, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. Keep them stupid, keep them fighting, hating
Keep them
each other.
listening to your garbage music.
Yeah.
The Travis Scott ritual.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, there's just there's this weird stuff out there. And I think now at this point, you can't. The impossible is possible.
Yeah.
Like whatever
You
we
can
thought
think of it.
never could have been true is certainly on the table now.
Yeah, if you can think of it, it's possible for sure.
Yeah.
Did you catch any of the NBA draft lottery?
No, I was at work when I saw it happen. And obviously being in Texas, word traveled fast that the Mavs got the number 1 pick.
Yeah, Cooper Flagg is probably coming to Dallas, number 1 pick.
Duke. Stud.
Superstar.
Yeah, superstar.
And, 1.8% was the chance that they had to get the first pick. And it's like, that's kind of like, still a chance, but it's like, damn, really? 1.8? And a lot of people sprung out of the woodwork saying, oh, conspiracy. This is part of the Luka trade. You trade Luka for, everyone's like, this is not worth it. Luka and Anthony Davis,
Yeah.
and some other guys, but now when you say Luka for Anthony Davis and Cooper Flagg,
Yeah.
trade makes a lot more sense.
I mean, I saw some interesting things of like teams that have traded like a superstar, and what's ended up happening to them the following season. Going back
Yes.
to Anthony Davis with the Pelicans, and then they get the first round pick.
Yeah.
Dad's got some bush lattes over there, some topos,
Crack 'em open.
doing some curls.
Some curls with the beer.
Um,
Yeah, it's I think it's rigged. I really do. Because when LeBron left Cleveland,
they got the number one.
Cleveland gets Kyrie Irving first.
And so
pick.
when he went on Pat McAfee
LeBron?
2 months ago, yeah.
Oh yeah, after
They
Stephen
were
A.
asking about that, and LeBron didn't say it out loud, but he said the same thing as like, I leave Cleveland, they get the number one pick.
Yeah.
He was pretty much saying that the lottery is rigged.
Yeah, and then even when he comes back to Cleveland, apparently he's like, I'm not coming back unless we get the number one pick again. And so they get Andrew Wiggins, number one. They trade him for Kevin Love.
Yeah,
So it's happened multiple times.
Kevin Love, my twin.
Shout out to Kevin Love. He's a sharpshooter.
Yeah, so now we got 4 teams left. Or no, Denver, OKC, is that tonight or is that tomorrow?
Tomorrow, Game 7. So excited for that game. It's going to be sick.
Yeah, so the winner of that series will probably end up being the MVP? Shea or Jokic?
We'll see. It's a regular season award, so people are
But
saying
it should be a postseason award, too.
it's not, though. It's clearly a regular season MVP. So they're saying Shea's probably going to win it. Best player on the best team.
But if they lose, then they're not the best team.
I think it's a team game, so it's hard to say, but Shea had an incredible year.
Yeah, he did, but
If I
we've
would
seen
vote for
Jokic
Jokic.
as a champ.
I would vote. I think
He
Jokic
does
is a better
everything on
player.
the court. Yeah, he does everything on the court.
But people will always go back to the fact that it's a regular season award, and the Denver had the 5th seed, and OKC was the best team in the league, and he was the best player on the best team.
Yeah, well, now if you have
It's kind of tough.
both top 2 candidates playing against each other in the playoffs in a 7-game series, the winner of that series should receive the award.
I agree.
The better team does not lose in a 7-game series. That's
Yes.
facts.
And injuries affect that, but we'll see what happens. I think I got Denver Game 7. Put my money on
It's
Jokic.
in OKC, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm cheering for Jokic, and then give me the Pacers. I want the Pacers
Let's
to win
go.
a championship.
Yeah, I agree. Pacers.
I'd
they
be
play
okay if the
good.
Knicks won too, honestly.
Yeah, I like Jalen Brunson. His flopping stuff sucks, but think about 6'2", just dominates. Dominates.
They got a good team. Would that be good for the brand of basketball? To have the Knicks win or to have the Pacers win?
I think the Knicks.
Yeah,
Oh,
very
yeah.
humid.
Knicks winning would be better. Pacers winning would not, but I think
A small market team, kind of like what it was for the Bucks.
Minnesota is going to be Minnesota versus
I don't want
Denver.
them to win. I don't like Minnesota. Anthony
See,
Edwards needs to get humbled.
Yeah. I think he said something like he was upset that Steph got injured. He wanted to take down another GOAT. He's marking him off the list.
Yeah, I mean, and now that we're on the topic, Jimmy Butler, trash. Not a superstar.
I think.
Just not, I mean, I know I'm being a little too critical.
Well, he's older. He's 37. But here's the thing: when Steph is on the floor, he has so much gravity. He gets guys open shots, and the game for the Warriors changes completely. And you saw that when he's gone. And Jimmy's not the type of player that's gonna attack and score.
But why?
That's just not his game.
Superstars do.
Well, he's not
Name
a
a
superstar.
superstar.
He gets paid like a superstar.
Yeah,
but
so then let's bring him down to just a good player. He's a Tobias Harris.
That's blasphemy. No
mean-
way. Tobias Harris?
He is in between Tobias Harris and Paul George.
I don't know what you think Paul George is, but he's not better than Jimmy Butler.
Paul George in Indiana.
Yeah, that's Paul George in Indiana was really good, so he's definitely below that. But yeah, Warriors. It sucks. Injuries affect everything,
Yeah.
and Steph being injured sucks. But maybe next year, I think they got Jimmy under contract one more year. We got to do something with the role players. Just they were not contributing. Moses Moody, hate to say it, but he
Draymond needs to retire.
Okay. How long have we been going? About an hour. God, I'm sweating my balls off over here.
10:50. You want to call it?
Let's call it. Good episode.